Hi everyone, welcome to the SQL for Oracle Database. We'll start this course from beginning. This is for beginners from scratch. So if you are also interested in another course, you come back to my channels, go for my playlist, the Google Data Analysis. We also in the Google Data Analysis, I do some SQL for data analyst job. So you can find we have also 24 lecture about Google data analysis. It's not complete yet, but this is you can back if you are interested in Google data analysis. We also have machine learning course. I just finished the supervised machine learning. Still we have a lot. We'll complete it in the future. So we have the ArcMap, ArcGIS if you are interested. So you can back to my playlist and you'll find all the courses listed here. So let's gonna start simply by defining all the terms that you need to know in the SQL. So what is the SQL? It's the language we use to communicate with the database. Used to create, read, update, and delete information from the database. So you have information in the database, and we use this language called SQL to create, read, update, or delete information within the SQL. SQL is established by the American National Standard Institute. There are different versions of the SQL language which have their own proprietary syntax specific to the relational database management system. So for example, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, all these relational database management system, these are the software, all of them follow the same rule with the ANSI. So all relational database management system to be compliant with ANSI must support the main SQL commands. So all these relational database management system, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, both SQL, all of them support the SQL commands like select, update, delete, insert, where in the same way. This is the guidelines when you write your SQL statement. SQL statements are not case sensitive, so you can start with select all from customers, for example, with the capital letter, select as a capital from capital, or you can select all from customers, you start with a small letter, and SQL is not case sensitive. SQL statement can be on one or more lines. You can write your code horizontally, or you can write your code vertically. Select name city, it can start from where. You can horizontally, you can vertically, it's up to you. Keyword cannot be abbreviated or split across lines. You must write the full keyword like select. You should write select full as select. You're not allowed to use abbreviation for select or any other keyword like select or from or very close. This is the keyword. So best to place clauses on separate lines. For readability, each part select from where is often placed on a new line. So you can start select, you keep it one line, from other line, and where the third line. This is for readability. So to make your code more readability and easy to read. Tables and indents can be used to make code more readable. For example, like in programming, indentation spaces make SQL code easy to read. So use the spaces to make your code is more readable and easy to read. You can use the spaces. Keyword typically are entered in uppercase. All other words such as table names and columns are entered in lowercase, but this is not mandatory. You can start with select from where. This is uppercase. The keyword is what I mean with the keyword. Select from and where as individual. These are the keyword. You can start with the uppercase, but it's okay to start with lowercase. It's not mandatory, but as you prefer to make your code more readable, you start with the select as a capital from where, and then you have start with this is the table name, the column name and city. From customers, this is the schema. So this is how you manage your guideline for SQL. What is the keyword? So keyword as individually, if you use select, from, where, insert, update, this is called the keyword. Just one word individually is called the keyword. This is for a reserved word. But if we say what is the clause, a clause when you use select, for example, we select the name and city from table called customers. So select name and city, all that is called select clause. Not just this word, no, the word with the name. This is the table name and this is another table name. So select the name and city, this is select clause. From customers, this is from clause. Where city equal to, for example, Basra, where clause. So the clause is contain the keyword and the table names. So what is the statement? A statement, complete SQL command. So all this complete SQL from select into the where is called the statement. So if we say statement is full complete code. Clause is only the keyword with the table name, and the keyword is only one word selected from. Okay, so what is the toad? We'll use the toad to run our SQL command. Toad stands for tool for Oracle application developers. It's a popular database management tool. So this is the tool that we use it to communicate with the database. We will create internal database to communicate with the database. We use this toad application. Okay, and this is used by developers, database administrators, and analysts to work with database. Not just Oracle, but also SQL Server, MySQL, Boast, GraysQL, etc. So we use the toad to communicate with all the database related database. So it's a provide graphic interface. The toad, why we use the toad, will provide us a graphic interface to interact with database. Also help you write, run, optimize SQL queries, allow you to design, manage, and debug database. Okay, has features for performance tuning and data analysis. So toad is very useful software. We can use it to communicate with the database. Okay, we have database concept. We have to understand them. First, what is the database? It's a collection of organized information stored in a table. It's like a container. All these containers contain all the information you insert to this database. Contain all the information, and this information is stored in a table. So tables, all this information is stored in a tables where you have the columns and row. Columns, row. Okay, what is the table? So tables stores related data, information in rows and columns. So this is our database. This is the container. All this database will store the table 1, 2, 3. Each table has rows and columns, records, rows and column. So these rows and column have information. This information belong to this table. This information belong to this table. 7,000 whatever tables is stored in the database. Database container, imagine like a container is contain the table. What is the table? The table have information stored within as rows and column. What is the relational database? A database with related tables. So imagine this database we have two tables. This is the owner table and the maker. So car mode, this is owner ID and maker ID. We have car mode in here, we have car mode. So these tables have relational database. This table, we have the same table in this column and the same column name in this table. Okay, so this table is have relational with this table, and this is what's called relational database. What is the relational database management system? Relational database management system. This is a software system that manage database. Simply, the software we use to communicate with the database, to communicate with the Oracle SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, etc. Okay. What is the schema? It's a collection of database objects, example tables, associated with a database username or account. It organizes a database object such as tables, views, indices, stored procedures, and function. So imagine we have database called university, okay, and we have within this database we have schema called student, and a schema called courses, and a schema called stuff. So within the database is called, they called this one as a schema, or user account is the same, or account, username or account. This the username or account or schema is contain is called student, and this schema is contain all the tables that related to student information and grades. Another schema is called courses. This schema is contain all the tables that related to subject and schedules. This is for courses. We have third schema is called stuff. It contain all the tables that related to teachers and salaries that belong to stuff. So you can think about the schema like a folder inside the database that holds related objects. Folder inside this database that holds related objects, and these objects, these tables, is related to this schema, and this schema is like a folder within the database. Within this schema you can store data tables, you can save queries, you can views, you can indexes for faster search, you can also store procedures and function. You can also set user name, you can grant access to people, you can set permission from this schema. So this schema is like a folder within the database. We have another very important concept. It's called the primary key and foreign key. What is the primary key? Is a column or set of columns in a table that uniquely identify each rows. For example, you have this column, you have this table, we have 3 columns, and 3 rows. Student ID, name, and age. The student ID is considered the primary key because is only one and unique key, is only table that identify, is only the column that identify this table. So it's a column or set of columns in a table that uniquely identify each rows. So the primary key within this table is a student ID, and this must be unique, not duplicate. So only one student ID allow, not a student ID number 2, whatever. Only one student ID is allowed in here. Cannot be null, cannot have any null value or empty value, should have always value for it. Each table can only have one primary key. So each table, for example, this table has only one primary key called student ID. What is a foreign key? A column or a set of columns that create a relationship between two tables. So you can see we have a grade ID, student ID, subject, and a grade. You can think about the foreign key is the same as the primary key but in another table. So we have the same student ID, the first one is called the primary key, the second one is called the foreign key. Depend on this one, the column in this table and the column in this table, you can build your relational database. You can use left and right joint, all the joint, outside joint, inner joint. You can use them to build the relationship between these two tables. Okay, it refers to the primary key in another table. So it's the same. If this one a primary key, that one is a foreign key. If you consider this one the primary key, that means this one is the foreign key. So you can identify one as a primary key, the second one as foreign key, and you can connect the relationship between this table. It can have duplicates and can be null. I hope all these definitions make sense for you. And this is from scratch. We'll start simply one by one and until we applied all the things possible in the SQL. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.